there's the D's of real estate, right? Death, divorce, right? Diapers, diamonds. So like you had kids, you got married. So here's how you know, and these are the main drivers of people buying and selling real estate, by the way. Here's how you know the rate thing is just an objection. It's very simple. Someone's not like, oh yeah, hey, I hate my wife. We're gonna get divorced as soon as rates go back down to 4 so we can buy houses. That I've never heard that before. Someone's waiting to die until rates go down so that way someone will buy their house. Someone, hey, we're not going to have kids until rates get lower. Like people don't think that way. Okay. Even though some weirdos might think that way, the overwhelming majority of people are dying and getting divorced and having kids and getting married regardless of rates. So it's just a reason, and it can often be overcome. And it takes a good salesperson to step in and ask great questions. So I'd like to move into one more tactic that I think is kind of pertinent. And really, I liken it to like fishing. When I went on a deep sea fishing tour a handful of times. I don't know why I went more than once. I got sick every time I've gone. So it's pretty awful. But when you go out, you put these crab pots out. And there's a reason they don't take one gigantic crab pot and throw it out. They take like 5 or 10 smaller ones and throw them out. And the reason is because there might not be, crabs here. There might be crabs down a mile or a half mile or whatever. So they set all these different pots, and some of them are really full and some of them are just completely empty. Well, it's a lot like that in real estate. Okay. The questions you ask might not get you any crabs, like it was a bad example, but you might not get the result you want from that question. So how many questions do you have? This is a common thing for whatever reason. It seems like you get your real estate license and then you learn right away. Whenever you talk to someone, you ask them, do you know anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Okay. First of all, the answer overwhelmingly is no. Like they just don't. They don't. So what if you had like 2 or 3 more questions? And this is where I think skill really sets in. And one of my favorites, if you ask me like, hey, Chase, you have to find a buyer right now, like today, period, full stop. You got to find one today. Well, it'd be about the conversations I have and most importantly, the questions I ask. So I talked to Brent. Brent's no interest in buying. I've already qualified him, is zero chance. Before I let him go, I'm like, hey, Brent, do you know anyone that's renting right now? You can't think of anyone renting at all? You don't know one renter in your
Well,
life?
I do have a cousin and a couple of their friends, and then I have someone that I work with that rents
So
too.
you know a handful of people renting. Let me ask you this. If one of them could buy, like if they were able to buy right now, would they?
I mean, my cousin would for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. And then I would go deeper on that. I'd be like, well, what if I could show them a way to buy? All I'm doing is flushing out someone that, is high likelihood of being a potential buyer. And that comes from asking the right question. Notice if I'm like, hey, Brent, do you know anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? You're probably going to be like, no, but you do know a renter and you do
Yeah.
know a renter
Well,
who
and
would want to
and
buy.
and by the way, like what I wanted to do is I said no over there because like I know the limiting beliefs that people are saying is like, well, people say no. I wanted to show them in a you weren't expecting it. I wanted to show them what hearing no sounds like and then how to handle that.
Yeah. I'm
Are
like,
you
really?
sure? You can't think of anybody?
Can't think of anyone renting?
Yeah, exactly. That the reality is we let the fear of no stop us from ever asking the question.
That's a good
So
point.
so I
And
just
I handled that exactly how I would on a phone call. I'm like, really? You don't know anyone renting? Like,
yeah,
that's exactly what I would have said.
yeah, and did exactly what someone who's would have said no to that would have done was actually think. And most people's knee jerk reaction sometimes is they just don't want to think, so they say no.
Yeah. But
So
last thing on the brain, if you ask someone a generic question, like if I said, "Hey, do you know anyone who's an engineer?" You might be like, I don't know." I'm like, "Hey, do you know anyone that works at Micron?" They're like, "Yes, 5 people." And then I'm like, "Are any of them engineers?" Well, I think so and so is. Our brain files things very specifically.
yeah,
So it's much easier for you to think of a renter, and then I could be like, well, would they buy if they wanted to? Versus, do you know anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? And you'd have to go,
very.
"Well,
I have to think through everybody I know.
yeah,
No,
and
thank
it's
you.
overwhelming.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.